Hey everyone, JJ here from the Trading Syndicate. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. A little bit of a weekend update for you. First of all, I have to apologize. I moved over the week and the new place has messed up internet access, which unfortunately in the UK takes a long time to fix. It's not quite like North America. So I'll be up and running doing YouTubes again, hopefully Wednesday, Thursday. That's the earliest I could get a technician out. Um, and that's after about 30 or 40 phone calls. So I apologize for that. We will be conducting Zooms in the room for the trading syndicate, people in the ES room starting Monday. I've sort of fixed this. I've got enough bandwidth to run Zoom. So I'm going to do a little weekend update here. And let's take a quick look at our situation as we start the new month. And first of all, let me go out to a weekly chart on the ES and want you to take a quick look at this level here, 5840. Um, I imagine if we get up there, we're going to see some resistance because that's where the bulk of the inventory was before the flush. Now, it's kind of interesting that we use these levels, but if you go and look at how this maps out right around 5800, you're going to see some selling. That's probably where they're going to front run 5840. So if you are long, be looking, if you were lucky enough to go position long, those of you who are larger traders and holding throughout the week, through the weeks, this is a weekly chart. Wanted to take a sort of a larger bird's eye view. I apologize. I'm on a laptop, old faithful, which is my laptop from 2017. It's still working, but time to upgrade. But it's saving me in this time because it has decent Wi-Fi. So 5840, look for that. Look for some resistance as we come up into that 5800. That'll be where the front run happens, and then 5840. There's probably going to be some resistance there. Okay. If you want to take a look at something interesting, here is where the position was 4878 down to 4285. That was the position that was taken and then distributed at higher prices until, of course, all the drama of the last little while, which has this is a distribution. We went sideways for a bit in this huge range. Then we put the market on sale severely and we came right back into this cost basis. Now, I'm a trader, so my only thing I concern myself about is inventory and then the order flow, which is a fancy way of saying the customers coming into the market. Okay. So if the inventory is here and customers come in, we can sell the inventory at higher prices. That's what you're supposed to do in a market, right? So what we want to do is we want to understand that when we came down into this 4870, 4880 level, right, we came down here and we rejected off of that very strongly. I know it's news driven and all that, but this is not a coincidence that you came down into the cost basis, right? This is a large cost basis for all of these months. We came right into it and rejected back up. The shorts came in and covered, then wholesale started building positions, then retail, and then all the way back up into a big, big short squeeze. We'll take a look at that too. Let's go take a quick look at NQ because I never look at NQ, so I thought it's not fair for my NQ people. Same thing here. We've got our big cost basis here, and this is the doubling of cost basis. And we got up into the 4 time zone. There should be 4 of these purple ones. But as soon as we got up to that 22,500, that's where the big sell came in. And we came right into this distribution zone, right about here, stopped and reversed. So 17,672. And I think you're going to get some selling when we get up to that 20,500. We're pretty close to it now. Let's see if they start selling into it over the next couple of weeks and we get some back and forth motion like that. Because markets don't go straight up and straight down. You know, there are people, sorry, excuse me, there are people who are long this move who will obviously want to take some profit. And that would be a good place for them to front run 5840 on NQ. And similarly on NASDAQ, front running 20,500. That's something I would look out for. And this is purely an inventory outlook. I'm not a macro trader. You know, macro is all about liquidity and M2 money supply and all that stuff, far beyond my capability. You know, I'm an old eye gouger from Vancouver. So we just look at where we would sell. You know, if we were selling up here at 20,500, that'd be a good place to sell again. Because if they're buying it, we're selling it, right? That's what it's all about, distribution. So same thing here. You know, if we were a seller at 58.40 before, why would you not sell at that same level again? You know, unless you see a ton of buyers and that would warrant increasing price. But right now, let's see, we've had a really big move. So once again, watch those things. Take a look at our market profile chart. This move from 53.42 all the way up to 57.04, big move. You know, it only took days. Usually this kind of move takes months. And what we're looking for now is acceptance over 57.04 going through into this week with the Fed, those sorts of things. Watch for acceptance or rejection of 57.04 half because this could be a look above and fail, which would then target 56.23. If we get traction and we get above 57.24, then look for 41 and 73 and then 81. Those are your upper levels. But it wouldn't be surprising if we did a look above this balance zone and fail, come back down into 56.23 and maybe go back and forth in this area for a little bit. That's normal. Now, we haven't had a lot of normal market action lately. So just keep your head on a swivel and keep your hands on your wallet. As my old offensive line coach would say, keep your head on a swivel, folks. Um, for Sunday night, here's where we ended up. Okay, so on these TPO charts, the nice thing about it is you can go and take a look using the half hour. This is just basically a fancy half hour bar. You can see where the upper and lower stops are. Okay, so the upper stops are just, I'll mark them here for you. So we closed 57.10. Upper stops are at 57.14 half. Then you've got a stop here at that M high and then the L high. So we have a couple of stops. If we take those stops, that'll create buying and take the old Friday high on the downside, right? Because we kind of high closed. If we get, Sunday nights and Globex openings, you don't have a ton of buying. So generally what that does is it allows people who got caught short on Friday to maybe get in and maybe cover with a little dignity. So if we take out these lower stops, for example, like 57.05, there's that overnight high from Thursday. There'll be some bids down here. So watch. Also, it's a nice round number, right? 5,700. There'll be some nice bids probably here, short covering. So if we come down, look for some responsive buying there. Right. If we get back under 5,700, let's go take a quick look. The next stop will be 56.85. So be careful. If it breaks 5,700, don't try and catch the dip down here. Let the larger traders, right? If it breaks 5,700, let the billionaires come in and find the stability before you take a long. Otherwise, it could drop all the way down to 85, just so you know. And then there's that previous day high from Thursday. There'll be some bids there. You could see there were bids there in Friday's session because people are short under 56. What is that? 56.83. Excuse me. So anyway, I'm JJ from the Trading Syndicate. Thank you so much. Just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on what to look for. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I thank you very much for having patience with me this week. It's been a tough week for moving and having no internet. Hopefully, this video sounds clear. For folks in our room, we'll be back doing Zooms on Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. UK time, which is 2:30 a.m. New York time. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Come join us at the Trading Syndicate, and we'd love to have you. Promise we'll teach you more about trading in a month than you'll learn 10 years everywhere anywhere else. I'm JJ. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.